Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and guess what we're doing today? If you didn't guess it, we're organizing my yarn stash. Last year, I believe, I kind of started my yarn buying ban-ish. Yeah, that's when I locked in. I wrapped up all my yarn, put them in these tubs, bought them, and then I actually used to be a decent amount, which is kind of why it's in the state it's in now. But also that's just an excuse. But we're going to wrap up all of our yarn, reorganize it, probably do it by color, and then probably weight and fiber, because most of my weight for is acrylic, and I have some cotton, and then I have some jumbo yarn. So what I'll probably do is do all my acrylic by color, and then have a drawer for cotton and have a drawer for jumbo. And then we have to separate all of our finished and whips. And we'll decide which ones we want to frog. That'll probably be saved for another video. Right now it's just about organizing it and making it look all nice and neat and making it easy to find yarn. Okay, so guess we'll start with this bucket. Some acrylic. Oh, I was making a bunch of bags from this art shop, and I still need to line the bags that I did make, or weave in the ends like these. I was just gonna get rid of yarn, and I triple stranded, I think, quadruple stranded. There's 4 strands. I made this one, and then I made this one. These little purses. So I just need to weave in the ends on these. So I'm gonna do a pile for yarn, and then a pile for projects. Finished or unfinished. Tapestry, I was gonna make into a bag. The original thing was to do a bag. I'm just gonna do a tapestry now because I ran out of the purple yarn. It might be handy to have some scissors with me. Oh, this is a pattern by Aiden Wells, I believe. It's the gummy bear bag. Super hyped about making it. Didn't have enough yarn in any colorful colors, so I wanted to make it in black and gray. And it doesn't look bad. Just lost motivation because of the colors. Actually, this is gonna go into my stuffing bag, but that's in my living room because I was working on plushies. So it's just gonna go in another pile. Another bag I was working on, stuffing. Let me get the stitch marker out though. So I do not remember what the tapestry that went with this was. Okay, this is the finished bag. I did Tunisian crochet for the strap. And it says it wasn't supposed to be as stretchy, but it still is. So I think I might go back to thermal stitching. My straps. I need to weave in the ends kind of, because it's gonna be lined. Yeah, weave in the ends and line it. Finished pile. A hat that I use. And then here's what I like to do whenever I have a caked up ball of yarn. I like to wrap up the outside first, and then if the center pole is out, it's connected to something, and I'll wrap it in the opposite direction. There's my yarn pile. Okay, these squares are gonna be one of those granny square bags where it's take 3 of them, and 2 of them are folded over this way. Are we seeing the vision? And I need 1 more. Low key, I might finish. I'm definitely gonna finish this because I'm almost done. So I'm gonna take all 3 of these things of yarn, and I don't have any empty bags right now, project bags or anything. I'm gonna put them in a Walmart bag in a second. I'll come back whenever I'm done going through this basket. Okay, so I made it through the first bucket, and what I ended up doing with that is putting all my whips in it. And then I grabbed a bunch of Walmart bags and stuff. So I can put, sorry, not my whips, but like things that need to be like lined and stuff. I guess this could be my whip basket. So I'm also gonna put this bag in here because this has that blue bag that we were just talking about, the granny square bag. And then I just have yarn sitting on the floor. This finished projects are gonna go in a separate pile so that they can go where they need to go. And all those hooks, there's a bunch of hooks and stuff on the bottom, so I just put them inside this little. This is like from a little crochet kit I got one Christmas. I'm just gonna put it inside this pouch. That and all the pencils and markers, stitch markers, darning needles, all that's just gonna go in here, and I'll organize this later because I have not like a bunch of little containers, but I have like, I want to separate my hooks and like my notions and stuff. But yeah, this they need to be like a trash. We're supposed to do a trash bag. Don't know what I was thinking when I did this with floral wire instead of a wooden dowel. But yeah. And this can go in here because it's all dusty. The next thing I'm probably going to tackle is this up here. I'm pretty sure this has just a bunch of cotton in it. And I think I was making shorts. Yep, I was making shorts. And I was following this pattern and it had like the increases, but for some reason the increases, like, it made like a triangle shape on the sides. But now that I've discovered elastic thread, what I think I'm gonna do is I don't know, but I think I'm gonna take out this last row. Yeah, I remember what I did. I like got really far in the progress, and like I said, the whole like triangling out situation started happening, so I redid like all my progress. I was gonna redo it, but okay, it's just cut. That's not gonna happen now with the mess that we have. So all this, I'll try and save this. It's gonna go in the stuffing bag. Yeah, I brought that in here. And then all of these are cottons, but I want to get them out of here. So I'll just dump them on the floor. Not just sure what I want to do with this basket. This can probably be a project basket, like for something that has multiple pieces, but I don't have any going. Oh, I can put the blue bag inside this so it isn't in a Walmart bag. Also, everyone say hello to Blue. He's helping me. Right, Blue? I'm almost positive I used a 5mm crochet hook for this. Bam. And let me see if I have a 5mm crochet hook in here. I do. I'm gonna put it inside the basket. No, those are not toys. There's more hooks up here. Oh my gosh, I saw this video on TikTok, I think, and she took like her stitch marker pack. It was like the circle one. And then you guys probably see it's like a circle and it has like the different sections, different color stitch markers. And she wrote down different hook size for each stitch marker so that she knew which hook she used based off the color of her stitch marker. And that was a pretty neat idea. I don't know if I want to go through these drawers right now. It's like notebooks, some fabric. Zippers, more fabric, more notebooks, stuff for flowers. Oh, there is some yarn in here though. Some fluffy yarn. I want to make more amigurumi items, but I don't want to, like I said, yarn I don't want to buy any more yarn to make them. So give me any suggestions based off what you guys are seeing in here. I don't have to be really chunky. I would love to get into making the ones with like the smaller yarn. So give me any suggestions based off the colors that you see that I have. But I'm going to go off camera a little bit and like really lock in. He just took my ball of yarn, but I'm going to really lock in. Probably start on I don't know. That's all that's in here in this corner that needed to be separated. There are bins and bags from when I went home and all that, but we're gonna just focus on the corner right now. Then we're gonna get that stuff, bring it over here. And I hope you see the process. I can't explain the rest of it, but hopefully you see the process. Okay, it's been a couple of days, but I put my TV stand together because I don't know if I mentioned this in the last clip, but none of the surfaces I had before were like they were too thick for my None of the surfaces I had before, they were too thick for my yarn winder, but I put my TV stand together. Actually, a bookshelf, that tote you saw was what it was on before. Let me see if it'll fit on this. Okay, this is also too big. So I don't know what we're gonna do. Okay, since we're hand winding, I think, well, first of all, when I moved these things into my apartment, I put them backwards. So like, this is like grays and blacks, plush, cotton, and then this one, random loops and threads yarn. It's Textured Twist, it's an acrylic brand. Someone please let me know what to do with this. So I don't wanna, I might just like give it to Goodwill, I don't know. I say I'm always gonna give clothes to Goodwill and then the bags just sit in my closet. Put that back in here. And then the pinks and stuff are on the bottom. So honestly, I'm gonna take out the bottom drawer. We're gonna go through it and not like rewind. Most of them are wound up, I think. Let's take a look. All right, this is what the drawer is looking like. Everything's pretty wound up. There's like a whole cake, or yeah, new skein in there. And then purples, pink. I don't know what this drawer is supposed to be actually. This is definitely not the red drawer. That one is actually at the top of the one I just took out, so we're gonna switch them. Okay, this is the actual top drawer. So there's the red, greens. I don't own a lot of blues or, like these are thin. They're all acrylic. So I think I'm gonna keep them all in here, but we're gonna start with taking out the ones that need to be worked on. Like this one. We're just gonna drop it on the ground for it. Or actually, I'm gonna go ahead and wind it up to not create any more mess because I can't deal with the mess that's going on. Okay, I finished. This was the last thing I found in there. Are you serious? And it was like it wasn't even wound up. It was just yarn in a pile. But I'm going to start a scrap yarn bag because, like I've already mentioned, I don't have a lot of crochet bags. And that's something I'm working on making is more crochet bags. I don't have a lot of crochet bags made. I have Walmart bags right now, and this is what we have. We'll put all of our scraps in here. But this is what this drawer is looking like all cleaned up. You guys should have seen this when I first did this last year. Filled to the brim. Like, all of these drawers were filled to the absolute brim. Like, I had so many reds. Like, I don't even think green was in this thing whenever I first originally did this. But I'm going to put this to the side. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to open up the next drawer, which is the blues. I have a ton of blue. Don't know why blue isn't. Blue used to be my favorite color, but I don't really like blue on me. I like green better, or like yellow. But I'm going to open up that drawer and put what can fit in this drawer. I'm going to try and see if I can single layer them. Because that was the problem when I first did it. It was like double layered, so I'd have to like rummage around to get to the bottom layer and get what I wanted to see. Because I couldn't see like all the yarn. I'm going to try and squeeze them all in one layer as much as I can. And then I'm going to decide to go to the next drawer. And I also surprisingly have a lot of like fine, well not fine, I guess like, say weight 3 yarn, weight 3, weight 2, probably weight 3. I have a lot of weight 3 yarn for some reason. And at first I thought it was just me like winding up the things too tight, but these are all just thinner yarns. And give me recommendations on what to do with them. Because ideally I would make a top, even though they're acrylic, but it's weight 3, so I could get away with making a top. But I don't have enough to make a top. Maybe that blue one I might have enough, but the rest of them I don't. So give me some recommendations on what to make with those. Okay, this color, for some reason I have literally 4 different skeins of it. And I do remember my grandma getting me this, and she got me 4 skeins. I just don't know how I ended up with 4 skeins of this size, which means I was pulling from multiple skeins at once instead of just all together. Oh, this one's definitely like a weight 2 yarn. Super fluffy. I mean, not fluffy, super thin. Once again, we have like 3 skeins of the same color. This one, I don't know why this is like this. I know this yarn was donated to us. I don't remember what it looked like originally. I may make socks with this maybe. You know what I'm realizing as I'm doing this is that I still have yarn attached to projects that are of the same color. I'm probably going to just continue doing what I'm doing, and when I do get to those projects, if I'm going to abandon them, that's yarn that I'm fine with putting on top, I think. Ooh, this is a skein that I made myself from scrap blue yarn when I made my scrappy sweater. I made one in green. I used literally all the entire yarn actually. That's why I have no green yarn, because I made a scrappy sweater with all of it. I love it. It's like off the shoulder a little bit. I tried to make a blue one, and for some reason when I steamed that one, it was ginormous, and that's going to get cut up. Let me show you actually. Okay, this is it. As you can see, this is the neck, not the bottom. I don't know why this stretched out so much. Like if I put it on top, and also for some reason the seam opened when I was, don't know how that happened or why that happened. Not gonna fix it because this is beyond fixing. Like once it's steamed, I cannot unsteam it. And I didn't make it like oversized to begin with. I made it like slightly off the shoulder. And I made it the exact same way I made the green one. For some reason this one was huge. And the sleeves are still tight on this one. Like I can literally slide it off my body. Yeah, so this is going to go in my stuffing bag to get cut up. Alright, first drawer full, second drawer has been emptied. I'm not going to stuff any more yarn in here. This is looking pretty good. Nice and compact. We're gonna move on to the next drawer and I'll check back in then. Now that I'm thinking about it, I know why some of these are in multiple skeins. It's because when I was winding this up, and I'm remembering now, because one of the yarns I put in the scrap bucket, I had 2 more like medium-sized skeins because it's a smaller yarn. And it's because they were really tangled up when I got them, and I just was like snipping at it. If I couldn't get it untangled, I was sniffing. And there's that explanation. This is the project we have. It's some sort of raglan, and it's like meshy. I know exactly what this is. So I'll wind this back up. Let me show you what's all left in this bucket. This is all we have left. It's just the purples and this pink, and then I'm gonna wind this up, but it's a smaller weight. It's not weight 4, so it's gonna go in the other bucket. But that's all we have left from that third drawer. So we compressed down to, I'm definitely gonna say less than 2, probably 2 drawers of weight 4 acrylic that's not attached to any projects right now. Because there's some that's attached, but we're gonna ignore that. Alright, I put my, ignore the top, just ignore it. This is my reds, oranges, one yellow, couple greens, blues, and this is neutrals, pinks, purples. Yeah. Not a lot of weight for acrylic yarn, so I don't really know how I'm going to stash this. And I actually had an idea because I actually bought yarn yesterday. I bought 1 skein though. It was a regular size skein, the red heart in beige. And let me show you the bag that I made with it. This is the bag that I made. I haven't weaved any yet. I literally like bought the yarn yesterday, started it yesterday, finished it today at work. But this is it. This is gonna be my little bag for church. I've still gotta line it and leave in the ends, and I think I'm gonna give it a little steam before I line it too. Got the space yarn, base of the bag, and then all these other colors, this brown, that brown, the green, purple, yellow, blue, all that's scrap yarn. So what I'm thinking is, okay, I have all these colors and I don't have enough to do with most of them. Except for that blue, I can do something with that. But most of these, I don't have enough to do a single project, a whole project with. So I'm thinking I buy like a base color and then I use the scraps. Base color, use scraps. Like another idea I had was to make a scrap, like a scrappy granny square piece or something. Or worst case scenario, I do a blanket. I have like 3 scrap blankets I think going on right now. One of which is in this bag. You can't see it. That was also something I was doing at one point, was winding up my scrap yarns and doing a blanket, which I need to work on. I'll work on that eventually. But yeah, I want to make like a scrap granny square cardigan piece thing where like it's like all of them are outlined in black and connected in black, and like black's the main color, but it's like really colorful besides that. But I think that's how I'm gonna end up using my scrap yarns. Next thing we're gonna move on to is all of our three, I'm assuming yarn. Anything lighter than a 4 that's acrylic, we're gonna do those, organize them by color again, and then do the cotton, and then I actually have some plush yarn. And when I went to go grab this bag, I realized that one of my coworkers gave me a bag of yarn and they're full skeins. We're not gonna add those in now. I'm gonna do that at the very end after we've already organized what's already in the drawers. I think that's gonna be the best way to do that, because if I add that in, then I'm just gonna get overwhelmed. Alright, lightweight yarn is done. It took like a drawer and a half. Yeah. So now I'm gonna do the chunky weight yarn, and I don't know if I want to keep those in drawers because I know that's gonna take up a lot of space. Or if I want to put the cotton in with the light yarn, the drawer that's not full, because I have 2 drawers left, 2.5 I guess in terms of space. Then I have to remember I have like random skeins of yarn laying around literally everywhere in my apartment. So I'm not too sure what I want to do. Okay, I'm back. All my cotton's been separated. A lot of the cotton's went in the scrap thing, not that I had a lot to begin with, but that's where those are. All my chunky yarn is separated. I did like regular like chunky yarns, like yarns that you would make like sweaters, and not like plush yarn or anything like that, like chunky yarns. And then I did my plush yarn, and then I have more plush yarn, and then like the really big yarn, the ones that you like finger knit with, did those. So all the stuff that was in drawers that's never touched the ground is all in their respective places. That's all I'm going to film for tonight because my camera's also almost dead. But I might work on doing more organizing. I'm probably not. I'm probably just going to crochet, honestly. We'll see what we hit tomorrow. Hey everyone. Today we are going to tackle the closet. Honestly, it could look worse. There's also fabric at the top. I don't know if I showed that. But this has some more yarn. One finished scarf. A whip. I think it's an alpine stitch sweater that I started in black. A bag of stuff that needs to be cut up, so I'm going to put that in that bag. This is not that bad, so let's get started, shall we? Alright, this is the bag of stuff that needs to get cut up. Oh, jeez. I'm pretty sure this all needs to get cut up. Yeah, there's this top. It's made out of acrylic. I'm actually not too sure why this is in here. I've worn this before, but I fear I just need to remake it in white. Ooh. Yeah. I really want to sell that to everybody. What else is in here? I'm curious. I know what this is. This is that I tried to make that viral like twist top. Twist on this side and this side. And it just kept like slipping. I don't know. Didn't like it. I'm not a fan of the corset Facts. I tried to get on the train. The Passionate Kelsey, I made the ruffle top. I actually do like that one because it has like the crosses on the top. We're getting like tube tops, not happening. Oh my gosh, this is one of like the first things I ever made. It's just like a ribbed tank top. Definitely want to make another one of those again. Ooh, maybe I'll keep those so I can remake them. Oh my gosh, this is actually the first ever piece of clothing I made. It was a halter top. I'm gonna keep this too and remake it. Okay, I think this is the only other thing I'm gonna take out of this bag. Wait, hold on, there's one more. There's this one. Do you want to remake this one too? Maybe. We'll keep it, and if we don't want to remake it, then we can throw it away. Alright, so a little silly goose I made just for the fun of it. Actually, I think I'm gonna keep this and maybe do like a tapestry blanket. A tapestry blanket. Okay, the rest of this though is going in the stuffing bag. Alright, these are gonna go in our they're gonna go in our whip basket right now. So I think these are considered whips because I have to make projects based off of them, so they're gonna go in there. Alright, next thing we're gonna tackle is, there's a basket. Project basket it looks like, with some pink yarn. Alright, here it is. This is supposed to be a granny square scrap blanket made out of pinks. And we are gonna keep this. I'm gonna see if there's any more pinks to add to it. 1, 2. This is like border lining. Low-key, don't know why this is in here. This is definitely not pink. We're gonna keep it in here. Or actually, should we take? I'm taking it out. So there's this bad boy. Even has a stitch mark in it, and I'm assuming it's either a 6 or a 5mm hook. Not too sure. I'm gonna go with, I don't know. We'll figure out whenever I get to making it. But we are gonna keep this, and it even has its own little basket, so that's nice. Let's find something else. All right, we've got the cart. Bam. I would show you, actually, let me show you all 3 tiers. You can see our starting point. Okay, this is what we're starting with. Top is very overcrowded. Some yarn, and some paper. Blue, no! He's a little yarn bandit. No! No, sir. No, sir. Chunky yarn. Full cake of it. I made those, like, matrix hoods. I'll enter the pick if I have one. Keeps, like, taking my yarn and, like, slowly walking away with it. I mean, he doesn't even, like, tear it up. He just, like, grabs it and walks away. Okay. There's not enough room in either. Let me see. There might be enough room in this drawer. Okay, there low-key wasn't enough room for that, but, like, the drawer closed. So that's all that matters. This heart bag. Selling these on our website too. Also 25% off because of Valentine's Day sale. Super cute. I love it. Nice, nice. Lined. Finished project. For now, all of our finished projects are going in the same spot as our whips. This is the start of an alpine stitch sweater. This is going to get cut because I'm using that black yarn for something. Oh my gosh, it's connected to the start of another one. Look, they're like interconnected because one of these I made wrong. And so I started crocheting from that one to make the other one. This is the baby blanket I made. 25 days of stash pressing. Oh my gosh, it looks so good on camera. The color change. I love this chart. I want to get some more and make more blankets. I actually made my sister, I have the big one. The reason why I have this up over here, let me show you the big one that I made for my sister. This one was made with like double crochets, I believe. This is kind of huge. Not all of it's in frame. It's touching my feet. That's where it goes to, and then you turn it the other way. It's touching my feet, and it's buttons up a little at the top. Super big. I forgot how many skeins I used, but at a certain point I was like, I'm done adding skeins. Let me just finish off this row, and that's it. And then make this one for One of my old teammates, she had a baby. I actually need to ship this out to her. She had her baby 2 months ago almost. But it's okay because it's summer, so she doesn't really need it right now. Finished scarf. Moss stitch. I love it. I switched every other row so it gave it like vertical rows even though it was made horizontally. I love this. This was the first thing I steamed with like my steamer that I got for Christmas, and oh my gosh, it stretched out so much. More chunky yarn. Okay, we're gonna pull this up. This is definitely not going to fit in either of the drawers. Maybe when we go through the thing that you guys are on top of, like the fabric on top, like the fabric cushion thing on top of it, the shorter drawers, maybe we'll put some yarn in there. I'm thinking. For right now, this is gonna go up here. Ooh, there's another skein of that variegated blue yarn. And then some of this color. Some lavender, but it looks smaller than weight 4. Third drawer has mostly cotton. Ooh, I tried to make one of those like coasters, the flower coasters, and I tried to make it the complicated way where it's like this. You have to like sew it down, I think. Yeah, don't like that method. Cut it back. This color, this is a decent amount. Some white, this is Hobby Lobby because I can feel the difference. Some green. Cart clear. Ooh, this is another one of my blankets whips. It's I keep seeing these things on Pinterest, or I haven't seen one in a while, but I have one saved, and it's like someone took a piece of graph paper and they made like a big square, and then they made like mini squares of different sizes within the squares, and they like represent granny squares at different sizes, and they're different colors. And I started making the granny squares for it. Yeah. These are all the smaller squares. Yep. There's that yarn we just had. Ooh, this is another whip. And I want to... This is a chunky granny square blanket. And I don't know why I made it into granny squares when it's one solid color. I'm thinking that I wanted to get another chunky color to go with it. Let me see what I have. Ooh, low-key I can mix in the gray and we can do like checkered. Because this is like a variegated ombre-ish kind of yarn. I might do that. Yeah. I have a lot of those green squares though. And I need to figure out how big I want to make it. So it's supposed to be a gift for my boyfriend. Ravenclaw scarf I made for the Harry Potter market that we didn't end up doing. Okay, I need to get, I guess, a Walmart bag for these squares. Next thing we're gonna do is move on to the floor yarn. I'm not gonna show that because the floor looks terrible. It's mainly cotton. There's a couple gray. Yeah. Gonna do that real quick. Okay, new angle because we've cleaned up a little. This stuff is gonna get moved. It's just here temporarily because it's like hooks, cord. Actually, the cord can go in here. I think all my notions and all that good jazz, hooks and all that, are gonna go in here. This drawer has buttons and like sewing thread and sewing needles. This is a bag that has some yarn in it, and more of that gray yarn, and more of that pink yarn too, and some crochet thread. Ooh, let me show you this thing I bought from a market that I went to. It's a 3D printed like yarn spinner. This also I would want to cake up my yarn because I can do center pull, or I can put it on here and it can spin. Then we have this huge Hobby Lobby bag as I was preparing for the Mayflowers markets. It was mainly going to be flowers, but also some other things like the daisy towel. Did I show you guys that? Seen on my Instagram and my TikTok. The daisy pal. I forgot who made the pattern. I'll link it below though. And there's a bunch more, the Hobby Lobby Baby Bee Adorable yarn and a bunch of those skeins in here. So those can all get put up. Added our first thing to our display. This bee that I made for the market. But guys, this is terrible. I would never sell this to anyone. Like, it's like understuffed to it. This is terrible. I hate it. Well, like, I love it. Like, I would keep it, but I would never sell this to anyone. This looks like something I made when I first started crocheting. But it's our first edition of stuff of my own. I'm gonna put the Daisy pal up there too while we're at it. Even though this one is going to get sold. Put them in the corner too. Here's a whip that I do not want to abandon, but unfortunately I'm going to because it's just become too much of a mess. I was going to make those like pants where you like take a piece out or like cut it and make it like wide-legged. Say I'm having a hard time picking it up because it's all tangled up. Did not want to do this, but I am going to just, this is going to go in the trash. Actually, the yarn will go in the, so safety pins holding the yarn. The yarn won't go in the trash, but the jeans will. I do want to do this again. I think I'm going to thrift some like skinny jeans, then make them like flare or boot cut, or whichever one it turns out to be. I don't mind either, but I just want to have them kind of like flare, like wide-leggedness at the bottom because of the crochetedness of it. This is really sad. I was really excited about this project, and I think that's kind of the issue is I started it on a whim. Like, I literally had to go to work in the middle of making this, and I kind of just threw it on the floor, and then I never came back to it because I don't. Found another, well, this is the first Harry Potter whip. It's like it's a Gryffindor tapestry. It looks like this. The top of it is supposed to have this. Is this the back of the front? This is the back. Front. Yeah. The top of it is supposed to have the checker on it too. I might finish it or I might end it here. Don't know, but regardless, it's gonna go in our whip basket. And this is a hexagon cardigan in black. This I'm halfway done with. And I don't know if I want to expand the back with granny stitches or I want to make like some kind of like African flower granny squares put in the back to make it bigger. Because this is going to be oversized, it's going to be kind of like a cropped fit. This has like keychain stuff, zipper, yeah, sections, magnetic fastens, just stuff like that. Okay, this one's super exciting. It is my fillet crochet project that I started. And guess what I started with? Need your guesses? A dress. Yeah. I'm not too sure what row I'm on. Low key, as upsetting as that's gonna be, I'm gonna have to restart. I will definitely finish this. Or maybe I'll start with something smaller, like a tapestry. Even though my walls at home, well, I have a green wall at my house. Because they have like I forgot what it's called, like a feature wall or something like that. Make a little tapestry to go there. Alrighty guys, all the yarn in my bedroom and projects have been put into place except for my finished projects, which all of those are gonna have to go in my car because the tub or like the toter tub, whatever, with all our market stuff is in there. Which eventually I'm gonna take out sometime soon to take pictures of everything and list them on. Actually, we just are able to put our stuff on TikTok shop. So if you guys want to check out our TikTok, which I do have linked below in the description of the video, go shop there. Also, I'm inspired to do this by Somebody's Corner. I'll put her YouTube name here. I've been watching her videos lately while I've been like crocheting and like doing all this organization, but she actually goes live on TikTok. Instead of like going to a lot of markets, she just goes live and she sells her stuff through TikTok shop on her live, which is low-key smart because markets are expensive for you to not even like always make all your booth feedback. So what we want to start doing that. Shout out to her for giving us that idea. But yeah, that's what's going to be brought in sometime over this summer, hopefully soon, so I can take pictures of everything and list them. But so those are on the ground over there. Here's what it's looking like right now. All right, so you're looking at this and you're probably like, Jada, this is not looking very organized right now. But the pile of whips is what it is. There's no fixing that. And then we have our projects. We have, oh my gosh, in the camera you can tell that the yarn is made with 2 different dye lots so much. You can kind of tell in person, but like it's really apparent in, on video. Have this balloon animal dog, a daisy pal, and a bee. And then these are gonna go in a container or whatever, pouch. Then we have our weight 4 acrylic yarns, weight 3s and light yarns and cotton, and then chunky yarns, patterns, accessories, fabric. This is what it's looking like right now. And I actually think I might end the video here because that was my ultimate goal. My ultimate goal was to reorganize my yarn corner. But as I was saying, I am going to end the video here because we did accomplish our goal of organizing our yarn corner. I'm gonna do the rest of the stuff off camera because they're like in bags and containers. They're just in my living room. But now that this is all organized, it'll be easy to like transfer them from that space to here since this is organized now. But yeah, that's all. I'm glad I was able to film this for you guys and you guys were able to come along and watch with me. If you want to see what I do with my whips, finishing them up or ultimately deciding to not finish them, make sure you subscribe and turn on the post notifications so you know when I post about it because that'll probably be one of my next videos. And just subscribe if you want to see more of my stuff. But thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one. Bye!